Show. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. This is going to be an interesting one. Welcome back to what do you make of Notre Dame after 3 games? Notre Dame Twitter and everybody else on Twitter responds edition of the Always Irish Show. Oh, boy. And I want to let you guys know, when I do these Twitter responds and then do a Notre Dame scenario or whatever, I don't look at them ahead of time. I don't want to taint the pool. I want to be able to react in live time. So I post the question, but then I don't read it because I don't want to ruin it. I want to react in real time like you guys do to the sampling of the responses. So as always, thanks for being here. You can find a program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps John out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, you know what it is. Search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you don't want to see my face, ain't nobody going to blame you for that one. The Cowlin lines. 312-988-15. Dialed up. Tell Uncle Yanni all you've heard and seen. Notre Dame Fighting Irish brought to you by Sports Illustrated. We're up to 13 to 15 posts a day. You name it, we claim it. All across the board with Notre Dame football. Recruiting and injuries and news and thoughts and this and that. Everything you want, you could get. Thanks to everybody that's been over there already. Patreon.com/alwaysirish. Former captain, leading tackler Mike Goolsby and myself, often joined by also former Notre Damer Jared Clark. Now, breaking down the film. We got live streams. We got behind the scenes stuff going on over there. A lot of people joined the first few weeks of the season. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Let's get into this. So I'm not going to waste any time. What do you make of Notre Dame after 3 games? And let's go through and see. Swanky Wolverine, gotta hand it to him. That is a clever brand name. I know this guy's stuff. The branding's really good. As a brand guy who created my own brand, I respect what he's done with the Swanky Wolverine. I don't like that he's denigrating one of my favorite movie bad guys of all time, my alter ego, the Leprechaun from those 90 movies. And also, who is a Michigan guy to be making fun of Notre Dame right now? You just got your doors blown off by Texas and the hammers coming down on your alleged title. So I don't know where. Go figure. Leave it to a Michigan person to be totally clueless and have no feel of the room. But here we are. Irish fan 76. Seems like a very shaky foundation under Friedman. Makes me wonder how much the ND media, not you, John, have been covering for him. Ooh, that's juicy. Mike says they overlooked and fell asleep against NIU, possibly flushed the season goal down the crapper because of one game, depending on how things go. Time will tell. And we still have a QB that can't see past his first check down. That is a senior with experience. Make it make sense. Sidelines A&M says no idea, and I imagine they feel like they're in a weird spot. You lose to Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame loses to NIU right after, and then if you're an A&M person, you don't know where that leaves you. Brendan, they beat Texas A&M by 10 on the road and dropped 66 on Purdue. Are we sure the NIU game isn't a fluke aberration? Here's the problem. Even if it is a fluke, it could ruin the year. So, even if it is a fluke and Notre Dame goes 11-1 or whatever, they could make the playoff and get a horrible seed and a bad round 1 draw where they need to go, giving up that home game by losing to NIU. Even if it's an aberration, it could ruin the year. That's my position. And here's the other part of it. The offense has problems. So I realize you sleptwalk through NIU, but even with what else you've done, the offense has a passing game problem. And that's not just an NIU thing. So that makes me think it isn't all just an aberration because you can't throw the ball. Clutch sports. As of right now, I have no idea. Current trend seems to show that NIU is the outlier. Team is capable of beating the rest of teams on the schedule. They definitely are. But I'm just telling people, man, you're not beating Louisville being one-dimensional. Louisville has a very athletic, good defense. I don't care whether it's home or not. You don't play good at home anyways. apparently. You're not, I don't think you're beating Louisville if you can't throw the ball past 5 or 10 yards and make them respect that. I don't know how you win that game. Pete Gorman should be 3-0. Adam Dowling, confidence. Now the Irish are going to start rolling. Adam, I love you. Never change, man. Adam's down in the dumps 1 week, back on the train the next week. ND Fanatics, it's an enigma. Mike, I think Freeman has a track record of losing to teams he shouldn't. I can only hope it doesn't happen again this season. Pete says it would be very Irish of them to win out and drop the final game to the Trojans. Man, wouldn't that be, Pete? That is the most Notre Dame-iest thing I could think of, literally. To run the table the rest of the way, go to LA, and then lose. You end up 10-2, miss the playoff, and it's just a big... Jake says bipolar. Joseph, defense, especially secondary, still elite. The team knows its goals before the season are still very much in front of them and still in play. I think they know each Saturday is an elimination game, which is why I expect 11-1 with this roster. Jay Lehman, no idea. Nicest guy on Twitter, Jay Lehman, no idea. Anthony, could and should be better. Wildly unpredictable, for sure. Honestly, I have no clue. Jay Vittoria, former Notre Dame walk-on. It's hurting his brain. Michael Reagan, shocking number of serious injuries, grave concern over offensive line consistency at QB play. Those are all fine, fair takes. Corey, still need a better pass attack. Better not overlook a MAC team again. Confused, overrated, up and down, says Based Anglo. They have the potential to be great, but the coaching leadership is lacking, which makes this season super frustrating. I'm going to Miami, Ohio game Saturday. Hopefully we get an up performance. Crap. 100% crapola. I told you they'd go 8-4. All you homers kept saying I was the town troll. ND has played nobody and will lose to Louisville, USC, and Florida State. Wow, that's dark. Sean, extremely talented team. Love Riley when he can just run the ball, but it's going to take a passer like Angeli to be elite. Richard, like every year, no idea, just along for the ride. Man, a lot of people are just like, week to week, we'll see what we're going to get. Gustavo, easiest schedule Notre Dame's had in years. Should have been an easy one-loss or undefeated team. If you're elite, it should have been undefeated, no questions asked, but we're not elite. Notre Dame has too many problems to be considered elite. It's a 9-3 or 8-4 team. Serious questions at QB and O-line, the two most important positions. Staff blew the QB situation from the start. Ooh, baby. Can't get enough unfiltered Notre Dame football talk? Be sure to go over to patreon.com/alwaysirish. Former captain Mike Goolsby and myself. Do that. Screw it.
Oh, we never won anything. It's been 30 years.
Best team in a long time with one of the most confusing losses in Notre Dame history. Golden Domers with the Z. Not sure yet. Ask me after we play another MAC team at home and a big game against Louisville. I've been talking about it. This two-game stretch going into the bye dictates the whole year. You got to go 2-0 to give yourself a chance in the second half. Otherwise, the season is a failure. There's nothing you could say. Failure. Drop kick. A QB that can run but can't throw. A QB that can throw and not run. Manage your expectations for this year, but let's see what happens. Great young playmakers on both sides of the ball. Good team, but got bit by a trap game. Just booked my flight to El Paso for the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Looking forward to it. That is awful. Offense, Jeremy, offense has been slow in progress because of Riley's offseason. New QB, new line, new system, new skill pieces, new OC. It was always going to take time. I don't care what it looks like as long as we get a win against Miami, Ohio, and Louisville. The finished product will be playoff worthy. I have no flipping clue like most years. Leonard is not the guy, period. With no passing threat, I'm not sure they're top 25. That one loss will haunt the team nationally all season long and haunt the Irish fans for years to come. I agree with that. Even at 11-1, due to who we lost to, we probably won't be enough to get us in the playoff, especially given the weak schedule. I think 11-1 can make it, but you're getting a bad seed and you're going to have an awful, tough road round one game nobody wants to be in. You had that home hosting seed in South Bend Christmas, the week before Christmas. You had that in the palm of your hand and you let it go. Soap says it's a pretty good offense for Navy. JH, they are who we thought they were. The coaches didn't find that out till the end of game 2, though. I'm mostly confused, inconsistent. Offense is boring, but the defense is excellent. NIU was a fluke. Simple. The problems with the offense in the passing game make me think it isn't a fluke. Peanut butter and jelly razzle dazzle. Good, but not great. Riley's inability to pass won't be winning any playoff games. I don't even think you could beat Louisville that way. So you got 2 weeks to figure it out. But to be truthful, my Tigers are the same. Just not losing to NIU bad. I don't know who his Tigers are. Don't think this is the year. Yeah, you could have said that for the last 30 years of my life. Coach says, start Angeli or find a system to utilize both quarterbacks. Denbrock is the man that could absolutely get that done. Angeli should work first and second long distances. Riley on second and third, and on mid and short distances. That's interesting. I don't know if Notre Dame's willing to do that. They might think it just complicates everything. Charles, will the real Notre Dame please stand up? That's a good point. Cam, elite if they just had a starting quarterback who could throw. The offense is totally one-dimensional, not sustainable. William, somewhere between 12 and 15 in the country. When a team is able to take the run away from Riley, how does Notre Dame combat that? Again, you got to be able to throw the ball to beat all these teams, I believe. Capable of beating anybody, capable of losing to anybody. Still zero consistency. It's a huge problem. Lonely Indiana. They have a lot of potential. They just aren't consistent. The offensive line needs to mature quickly. There's always next year from Tom. Dominic, honestly not sure what to think. Same team as most of the last 20 years. Flashes of brilliance followed by stretches of mediocrity. Nothing suspicious. Ron Swanson throwing his TV in a dumpster. Denbrock sucks. 8-4, 9-3. Simon Cowell, he doesn't know if he likes it that much. This cartoon, I don't know what that means. Get that garbage out of here. I'm assuming they don't like Notre Dame. Unreliable. Blank my life. 10-2. Unstable. Riley Leonard is trash, and Freeman still makes stupid decisions. Honestly, I have no idea. Oh, man. Okay, so there's your sampling of what Notre Dame and some other fans think. Listen, I'm not letting people say they think NIU is a fluke, because there are problems that even if you had found a way to beat them, you still have a passing the ball problem. And I don't think you're winning playoff games if you throw the ball the way we're throwing it. So I don't think you could call it a fluke, because I'm not comfortable with all areas of the team outside of that. If that's a fluke and I look outside of it and throw it away as a fluke and block it out of my mind, I still have concerns. So I'm not saying it's a fluke. But I understand how so many people just said, I have no ever-living idea. You got 3 different games by this team, and none of them feel or look like any of the other games. And you just don't know what the real Notre Dame team is and what their real actual levels are that you can rely on. And coaches want consistency more than anything else. It's going to drive them nuts, not having... I don't know. I don't know. But I think you're going to get some answers in the next 2 weeks. You're going to show if you could overcome the stupid MAC thing and the lower, not a brand name team at home and be able to win it problem. You're going to see if you're over that. Louisville's a big test. And I know people are going to say, oh, John, it's at home this time. Oh, yeah? Do you feel good about that? What is that, an automatic win now? Since when? It wasn't when the pesky Huskies came to town. Trust me, I want to be like, okay, you're not going into that Louisville nightmare hornet's nest it was last year. We didn't play any better at home this year so far. So I don't know. I don't know, but 10-2 is unacceptable with this schedule, and you threw away a game, man, and there are consequences for that. Even if you run the table, that's the thing. Some people are saying, John, they could run the table and be fine and still make the playoff. Yeah, but it isn't about just making the playoff. You want to do well in it, and the best path for Notre Dame to make the playoff and do well in it is hosting a home game in round one against a warm weather team in cold weather at our place. Not going to Georgia that week or something like that as a lower seed. Those are how hard it would be to host that game in South Bend in front of your crowd against a warm weather team in cold December weather versus going to play at Georgia round one, and then if you win it, congratulations. You got to win 3 more to get a title. Telling you, man, that path is at home, that home game, and I think you threw that away. Also, do not forget this. Don't forget this. I believe the number is $16 million is what Notre Dame gets any year they're in the playoff. Buddy, you can't afford to be missing the playoff years, and that there goes $16 million the program could have used. There goes another $16 million. You miss it 2 years in a row, that's 30-something million gone. You can't do it. This is financial now. Notre Dame gets $16 million if they make it, and you need to make it. You can't afford to not have that money coming in. I mean, I'm sure Notre Dame could afford it, but you know what I'm saying. You got to get. That NIU game messed up everything, man. All you had to do is grind out a 1-point ugly win, and nobody would remember it in a couple months. But no, you had to Notre Dame yourself in front of everybody. So, anyways, I don't know, you guys. It's a bit of an enigma. You're going to find a lot out about this team in the next 2 weeks. You got to get to this bye with no more losses on the ledger. And then you got to get ready to plow through the back half of that schedule and get ready for a battle in LA, maybe for your playoff life. So let's see what USC does the rest of the way here. But this roadmap's in front of us. You got to win the next 2 and get to the bye. And you're going to have to find some more offense to beat Louisville, I think. I'm sorry. I just think you do. I don't think you beat them one-dimensional. So you better figure something out fast. Let me know what you think of Notre Dame. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.